Kari lay still, fast asleep on the couch, and finally at peace. Her brown skin barely looked pale in the naturally lit room. Jake sat beside her, redoing the damp cloth over and over. The old man tried to comfort him as much as he could, but came to a sudden conclusion. He pondered for a while before mentioning it to Jake. "Is there something troubling you by chance?" Jake gently put down the piece of cloth again. "You have gone quiet."
"Oh, well, there is something that I was primarily sent here for."
The old man slightly scratched his silver hair.
"There is a question I must ask of you, dear Prince."
"What is it?" Jake looked toward him.
"Are you willing to do anything to keep Kari safe?"
The old man stood near with a tired look. Jake hesitated for a moment. "That may depend on what it is."
"Seeing how you were against it..."
The old man cleared his throat.
"This may be difficult for you. It is to let Kari's memories of you to be erased safely."
"How does this save her?" Jake slightly leaned to him, panicked.
"Your encounter was planned to be at a later time,"
the old man sighed, sitting down on the floor.
"It had been rushed. The mere fact it was rushed seemed to be a miracle, but it was not soon enough."
"Rushed?" Jake paused and thought. "What do you mean rushed?"
"Kariya Shirama, the one who raised Kari, rushed this to avoid the war."
The old man looked up at Jake, weary-eyed.
"I am sure Julius mentioned that last part."
Jake slowly nodded and sighed. "What must I do now?" The old man slowly stood up again, taking out a small blade.
"It is not safe to, but to proceed, you must seal your loyalty to Kari in blood."
Jake almost flinched at the thought of blood, turning toward Kari. He looked at his own hand and opened it. The old man gently took his hand and slashed it with the blade. Jake barely flinched and felt the cut as he watched his blood drip down to the floor. The old man quickly took Jake's hand and Kari's as well, placing their palms into each other. The cut stung as the light pressure was put into both hands. The size of his seemed to overpower Kari's, almost making the placement odd.
"Now repeat after me."
The old man looked up to Jake.
"I, Prince Jake Spruce Allen of the Elf Kingdom."
Jake grunted for a moment and tried to speak. "I, Prince Jake Spruce Allen of the Elf Kingdom."
"Swear loyalty,"
the old man continued,
"to the goddess of love and witches, Kari Juvuan."
"Swear loyalty to the goddess of love and witches, Kari Juvuan." Jake followed along, paying careful attention to his words.
"And never forget our love, even in troubling times."
The old man finished. Jake spoke, almost struggling to speak. And to never forget our love, even in troubling times. The two went silent and watched as a sparkling blue and pink light swirled around both hands. The old man released them from his own, looking at them float in the air. The magic behind it flourished as it glowed bright in view. Then their hands slowly fell toward the floor, seeing that the magic was finally done. Their hands separated, and both had blood dripping down. Jake's energy to sit up straight suddenly felt like it had vanished. He slumped as his arm barely dangled to the side. The old man took Jake's hand and wrapped a dark piece of cloth around it. He simply wiped off Kari's hand with water and another piece of cloth.
You will bear this as a scar, but you must never let it be shown to others.
The old man held Jake's hand in front of his.
If there are ones you trust, they shall know. But you must keep it hidden from others, even Kari.
I see. Jake barely felt any pain in his hand. But what will happen now? The old man let go and sighed short.
The moment Kari wakes up, the memories of you will be gone and replaced with another sort of love she had. It may be from another person or an object, maybe even hobby.
Another person? Jake looked to Kari, scared.
I would not worry.
The old man smiled.
I feel the love between you two is strong. Though apart from that, Kari will not awaken for a long while.
Why is that? Jake asked, concerned for Kari's safety once more.
The spell required physical energy from the both of you.
The old man looked at Jake.
That means the energy from the war was not going to be enough for her. This will not harm her, though. Trust on this.
Jake looked down to the floor and slowly rose to stand. Understand. I will need to be outside for a moment.
All right, then.
The old man went and sat in his chair after he walked away.
Be careful out there.
End of section 18.